from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. Whether obviously we know she deserves it, but in their eyes, whether they think she deserves it or not, like she's being handed as the face of the league.
Watching Caitlin Clark feels like watching Larry Bird all over again.
When Michael Jordan compares you to Larry Bird, you know you're doing something historic. And for Caitlin Clark, the parallels are undeniable. Her vision, her fearlessness, and her ability to turn pressure into performance have made her more than a basketball player. She's become a movement. Every court she steps on sells out, every highlight goes viral, and every fan feels the shift she's creating in the sport. But fame brings noise, critics backlash, endless debates. Still, she never folds. Caitlin Clark keeps showing up, delivering, and reminding everyone that the WNBA has never seen anyone quite like her. So today, we cut through the noise, diving into what legends, analysts, and players are saying about her. Because whether it's praise or pushback, one thing's certain. Caitlin Clark has the entire basketball world watching. And like Larry Bird once did, she's earning every second of that spotlight. In Indiana, leadership isn't about points, it's about presence. Tyrese Halliburton knows that. He's done it for the Pacers and sees that same drive in Caitlin Clark. From one point guard to another, he sees her poise, her pressure, and her purpose. And his message to her was pure support.
Yeah, I think she's just so amazing what she does. I love being here to support her in any way I can, and I think we're just 2 point guards trying to lead our group to do something special. So any way I can be here to support, I'll be here.
2 floor generals, one in the NBA, one in the WNBA, recognizing the grind in each other. Caitlin Clark isn't just trying to survive. She's leading, organizing, taking hits, and lifting her team the way Halliburton did for the Pacers. And what makes it real is that Tyrese acknowledges it. When one of the NBA's smartest young stars stands beside you, not above you, that's genuine respect. Indiana doesn't have one leader anymore, it has 2. And sometimes the most powerful stat isn't in the box score, it's in who shows up for you. That's why when Jason Whitlock spoke about what's happening behind the scenes in the WNBA, he didn't hold back. Love him or hate him, Whitlock always says what others won't. And this time he said what many are thinking but afraid to admit.
They put a super team around Caitlin Clark because people want to play with Caitlin Clark. Yeah. The Chicago Sky, they look perhaps worse than they were a year ago because people don't want to play with Angel Reese.
Caitlin Clark isn't just bringing in fans. She's attracting other players. That kind of pull is something money can't buy. The Fever didn't have to chase big names or sell a flashy city. All they needed was Caitlin. Because when athletes choose a team, it's not only about contracts. It's about trust, leadership, and the belief that the person next to you knows how to win. And Clark? She embodies that completely. Whitlock's take isn't just about Caitlin versus Angel Reese. It's about what the WNBA is becoming. Teams aren't just built around stats anymore. They're built around energy, personality, and vision. Caitlin's got all 3. She's humble, hungry, and headline-worthy. For any struggling franchise, she's the blueprint. Because fans don't just want to watch Caitlin Clark, players want to join her. And in a league still growing its roots, that kind of magnetism means everything. When stars start recruiting themselves, that's when you know the game has changed.
How many NBA players are more famous than Caitlin Clark? LeBron, Steph, absolutely.
Maybe Durant.
That's what I put. I wrote down KD maybe.
Yeah.
In 1 year, out of women's basketball, for a horrible team when she arrived, outside of LeBron and Steph, she is the most well-known basketball player currently playing in the United States.
There are 2 kinds of fame in sports. One earned through championships and MVPs, and the other through cultural impact. Caitlin Clark owns the second one. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. Her name trends during NFL Sundays, she's on cereal boxes, and she's dominating conversations far beyond basketball circles. She's not in New York or LA, not on a max deal. She's in Indiana, a rookie. Yet she's the most talked about athlete in the country. That's why Colin Cowherd didn't hesitate when he said Caitlin Clark ranks among the top 3 most recognizable basketball players in the world right now.
Because of the rivalry, because of injuries, because of Caitlin Clark, has sparked an interest in women's basketball that wasn't completely there before. So I'm happy for that. And so I want to see it play out. I want to see them continue to grow their careers and be the best female basketball players that they can be.
Let that sink in. In a sport filled with billion-dollar stars, Caitlin Clark's name stands near the top. And it's not about trophies, it's about influence. She's not just winning games. She's moving culture. Colin Cowherd didn't sound amazed, he sounded certain. Caitlin Clark isn't adapting to basketball. Basketball is adapting to her. And what's wild is, she's just getting started. So when people ask who's next to dominate the game, it's not a prediction anymore, it's Caitlin Clark. Rivalries only fuel that rise, and her clash with Angel Reese proved it. According to Jonathan Isaac, that tension isn't chaos, it's chemistry. The kind that turns pressure into progress and sparks into history.
2024 was a year of unprecedented growth in viewership in the WNBA, a substantial amount of which can be attributed to Caitlin Clark, who took the basketball world by storm after an all-time college career.
At first, Isaac's comments seem balanced, but the truth is clear. Without Caitlin Clark, there is no rivalry. Angel Reese's spotlight existed because she stood across from Caitlin. The trash talk, the gestures, the viral moments, they only mattered because Clark was the one on the other side. Without Caitlin, Angel's just another story searching for attention. With her, she became a moment in basketball culture. But Caitlin didn't need anyone to build her name. She entered the WNBA with record-breaking stats, an iconic college career, and a massive fan base. She didn't chase hype, she created it. She pushed the league into prime time and made it impossible to ignore. So when people say the rivalry is good for the WNBA, sure, it adds fuel. But the fire? That started the moment Caitlin Clark stepped on a WNBA court. Every sport has a defining shift. Magic and Bird for the NBA, Serena for tennis, McGregor for UFC. And for the WNBA, Rachel Demita said it best. This is the Caitlin Clark era.
You don't want to become the girl, the team, the coach, the player who cries wolf all the time. It's just like, I feel like sometimes it's just like constant. And like, to what end? And I think especially around the Fever team and especially around Caitlin, this has like been a thing. It was a thing last year. Like sometimes you just have to like play through it and like earn a little bit more respect.
That wasn't a shot at her jump shot. It was about how the noise is being handled. And maybe that's fair. Megan Rapinoe, who's weathered her own storms, probably recognizes something familiar. She's been under that spotlight, taking hits from every angle. Maybe this was her way of saying, we've all been targets, learn to stand tall. But beneath her words was a subtle tension. Because while Caitlin Clark has been hit hard on the court in headlines and commentary, she's done something rare. She's not just endured the pressure, she's thrived in it. She's taken elbows, criticism, and chaos and kept hooping. So when Rapinoe says, earn more respect, you have to ask, what more is left to prove? Clark's breaking records, lifting a franchise, and carrying an entire league's attention with composure veterans envy. She's earning respect through performance and poise. Sure, every rising star has to prove themselves, but if consistency and class are the standard, Caitlin's already there. Every sport has its legends, Jordan, Serena, Messi, Gretzky, icons who define eras. And when Gretzky, the great one, steps outside hockey to praise someone, it means something, because he doesn't just hand out compliments. So when Wayne Gretzky publicly gave Caitlin Clark her flowers, it wasn't casual, it was history.
Look at Caitlin Clark, how she's kept just taken over the country, and for that matter, maybe the world, and how she's encouraged so many young girls now to participate in sports, whether it's basketball or soccer or volleyball.
That wasn't just praise, it was a torch being passed. Gretzky knows what it means to redefine a generation because he did it himself. Every kid in the 80s wanted to be Wayne, and when he mentioned Caitlin Clark alongside stars from football and volleyball, it was bigger than basketball. It was about reach, influence beyond the court. Caitlin Clark is making young girls believe sports can be their dream, not just a pastime. And when the greatest hockey player ever says she's taken over the country, that's legacy talk. Very few athletes reach that kind of cultural gravity, the kind that changes lives outside their own game. Caitlin isn't just growing the WNBA. She's expanding what women's sports mean to the world. And when Gretzky says it out loud, you know this movement is already bigger than basketball. Then there are voices like Ben Shapiro, never subtle, never shy. Known for his blunt takes, he turned his spotlight to the WNBA with one unapologetic message. No Caitlin Clark, no buzz.
Can we be clear about this? If Caitlin Clark were not in the WNBA, we would not be talking about the WNBA. She is the only ticket draw in the WNBA. A large percentage of all tickets sold in the WNBA are so people can watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. No one cares about Angel Reese. She'd be drawing flies if she were playing not against Caitlin Clark on the court right now. Angel Reese has basically become the Bill Laimbeer to Caitlin Clark's Larry Bird, essentially. That is where we now are.
And the truth is, he's right. Caitlin Clark isn't a reason the WNBA is rising. She's the reason. She didn't just boost ratings. She flipped the entire system. Wherever she goes, crowds follow. Networks that once ignored the league are now broadcasting every Fever game. Social media that barely mentioned the WNBA now can't stop posting her highlights. This isn't a trend, it's a transformation. And when Shapiro compared her to Bill Laimbeer, he nailed it. Angel Reese isn't her rival. She's her reflection in the spotlight Clark created. Caitlin doesn't share attention. She commands it. Angel might bring edge, but Clark brings evolution. This isn't a feud, it's orbit. Everyone else is revolving around her gravity. So, yeah, Shapiro's delivery was nuclear, but the message? Unshakable truth. Caitlin Clark is the reason the league is on the map. She's not following momentum. She is momentum.
Watching Caitlin Clark feels like watching Larry Bird all over again. The vision, the passing, the swagger. But this season, there's something else. She's got a sharper edge, a quiet fire. I just hope she keeps that energy and starts biting back at the ones trying to break her.
We've heard comparisons, debates, endless takes, but now the GOAT himself has spoken. Michael Jordan didn't just echo the Bird comparisons, he doubled down. When Jordan says Caitlin Clark reminds him of Larry Bird, that's not casual flattery, that's legacy affirmation. If the greatest ever sees it, maybe it's time the rest of the league does too. Before Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever games were just another night on the schedule. Half-filled arenas, quiet crowds. Then she arrived and everything changed. The buzz became electric. The seats filled. The city cared again. And no one described that transformation better than Pat McAfee, the Indiana sports legend who's watched it unfold in real time.
Before Caitlin Clark, I went to a couple Fever games. Was lucky to go. Had a great team. Fever have had a great franchise, great team for a long time. Won, like,
2012.
Yeah, won, like, back in the, I got here 2009. So, like, the Fever, good program, great fan base. Okay, we're talking, I don't know, maybe 7,000, 10,000 people at those games, you know, in the middle of the week in Gamebridge Arena. Mm-hmm. Since she has arrived, every game that the Fever play in, that place is packed.
McAfee's not exaggerating. He's seen it up close. What he described isn't just a star getting attention, it's a movement. Arenas that once echoed are now thundering. Ticket prices soaring. Entire weekends reshaped around her games. This isn't normal, it's cultural ignition. Caitlin Clark didn't just bring fans back. She made the Indiana Fever matter again. McAfee didn't need fancy stats, he just told the truth. One player flipped the atmosphere of an entire franchise. And the wild part, she's just getting started. Then came Lonzo Ball. Not exactly the NBA's loudest voice, but when he called Caitlin a top player, people noticed. Not for what he said, but how he said it.
She's coming, though.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark is that, for sure.
She is.
I say she top
I want to say top 3, but I'll say top 5 just to be safe.
Lonzo's praise was hesitant, maybe even cautious, but that's what made it powerful. Because, let's be honest, after missing so many games himself, Lonzo's not the best judge of dominance right now. Yet, even he couldn't deny her greatness. He may have stopped short of calling her number 1. But that hesitation said everything. When players can't quite admit what they already know, it's usually because the truth feels too big to process. Caitlin Clark isn't top 5 for her age or position. She's top 5, period. And if Lonzo needs a few more months to accept it, fine. The rest of us already have. Then Shannon Sharpe, the truth teller of sports talk, stepped in. And when he breaks down greatness, he doesn't flatter, he dissects.
She has the most 25-10 games in WNBA history, despite only playing 1 year, 2 games. Caitlin Clark has 6. Sabrina Ionescu has 5. DT, the great Diana Taurasi, has 4. Nobody else has more than 2. Clark did it in 44 career games. There have been a lot of back and forth. I think a lot of people didn't want to give her the credit that she deserved, where she needed to play X amount of years.
For Shannon, Caitlin Clark's impact isn't just statistical, it's structural. She walked into the WNBA and achieved in months what took legends years. And Sharpe called out the hypocrisy. People keep moving the goalposts, pretending she hasn't earned her place. But when the stat sheets and ratings scream louder than her critics, there's no more argument. Shannon didn't focus on controversy, he focused on results. He pointed straight at what she's done. Redefined what's possible for a sophomore carrying an entire league spotlight. He didn't just defend her, he documented her dominance. Every era needs a disruptor, and right now, Caitlin Clark is rewriting the script for how fast greatness can happen. Interview 14. Isaiah Thomas has lived through sports chaos, rivalries, drama, and all. So when he was asked about Caitlin Clark and the storm surrounding her, his answer was simple. This is good for the game. Because when things get heated, that's when people care. Clark didn't create the controversy, but she became the center of it, from hard fouls to fiery headlines. And through all of it, she keeps the world watching. Love her or hate her, she's the headline. Thomas knows that in sports, controversy isn't poison, it's power. And right now, Caitlin Clark is the most valuable story in basketball. Every era needs a little chaos to grow, and she's delivering it.
The controversy, is good, and people have picked their sides, and they'll pick their, who they like, who they don't like, why they like them, why they don't like them. But the most important thing is that you're watching.
Most analysts play it safe when talking all-time greats, but Nick Wright doesn't do safe. He went straight for the crown, saying Caitlin Clark isn't just dominating women's basketball, she's influencing the entire sport. And he's not wrong. She's not doing commercials, she is the commercial. Her highlights post Curry-level engagement. Her jersey sales, her airtime, her social numbers, they're all eclipsing established NBA names. Caitlin Clark isn't chasing relevance. She's defining it. She's the name casual fans know even if they've never watched a WNBA game. That's what cultural icons do. She's not just changing the WNBA. She's changing basketball itself. From Tyrese Halliburton's respect to Gretzky's admiration. From Shapiro's firestorm to Shannon's stats. Every corner of the sports world has fallen into her orbit. Caitlin Clark doesn't follow trends. She makes them. She's not part of the conversation anymore. She is the conversation, and everyone else is just trying to keep up.
I think I might have said this to you last year, that I thought the most famous basketball player under 30 was Caitlin Clark. I don't think it's particularly close. She is demonstrably and inarguably more famous than all of this generation's NBA stars.